And what I do in wills and estate planning, yes, finances are certainly a part of that. And you actually have an interesting, when we talked off camera, you actually have an interesting take on like the intersection of estate planning and wellness.
Yes. Because your body is one of those things that's part of your estate, and we don't look at it like this. Listen, even from a real estate point of view, listen, this is the first piece of real estate you ever own, which is your body, because that's
Wow.
where you live at. But here's the deal, Elsa. It has been given to us by God,
Hmm.
free and clear. Why is it that so many of us are in foreclosure?
Hmm. Hmm.
So when you're talking about the first piece of real estate you own, you have no self-discipline in that. How we gonna have the discipline in everything else that you own from this point on? It was given to us right out and free. God simply said, listen, you have to do the work. I know what you're doing by the actions that you're taking. So if you're not taking care of your temple,
Hmm.
something that you were giving free and clear, but you are now in foreclosure, how are you going to get this property out of foreclosure
Wow.
before you move on to your next?
Wow. That I'm just gonna let that be in the ether for a second because that's like real deep. And I don't think I've heard anybody ever put it in those terms, so basically, like, for people, you can make the analogy, bankruptcy, your bankrupt life, there's something going wrong, there's a bankruptcy
That's right.
in
Your body is bankrupt. Think
mm,
about it. You say how? Diabetes, bankrupt. Heart
yeah,
disease, bankrupt.
right,
Cancer,
right,
I've been bankrupt. I done been through cancer. So even when you talk about my stories and my comeback, when
yeah,
life got really, really good, Elsa, I got diagnosed with cancer. I'm like,
mm,
okay, God, are you kidding me? I finally got good. I'm with a man that absolutely loved my soul. Life is good. Now you give me a death sentence.
wow,
But
wow,
you get to decide if it's a death sentence or not. Because when I was thinking that it was a death sentence, that's the route I was going. But when I changed my thought process, just like when I got out of the domestic violence situation, I
yeah.
got out of by knowing that I deserve more. So that was a thought change. See, I was doing emotional mastery and NLP way back then before I even knew what it
And
was.
tell the audience what NLP, and just in case they don't know.
It's neuro linguistics practitioner. So
Okay.
it's changing your neural in the way that you talk to yourself. So you're changing your languaging. So back then, going through the domestic violence, I deserved just what I got because I didn't think better. But when I got to the point when things got really, really bad, I said, Candice, you deserve better than this.
And there are women that I have the honor of serving as a wills and estate planning attorney, and they come to me with any number of baggage, crazy situations in their lives, complicated. I won't say crazy, complicated. And when they're sitting down with me and talking about, okay, who is going to be your point person if you're in the hospital, who's going to run things in your who's going to handle your estate, who's going to be the guardian of your children when you are no longer here. I need these women to be clear of mind. I can't have them being burdened and overstressed, and that's how a lot of them are. And what I try to tell them, I'm like, this is the first step in not only you being empowered, but you being clear, because once you have a plan, you are clear of mind, everything is set out clearly on paper. And I just see such a synergy with the health and wellness that you do, because you really need to be of, and as the law says, of sound mind,
Right.
okay, when you are creating a will. I mean, there's a reason for that. And I want to just
Get
take it
to
even
that
deeper.
sound mind. And you're right, there's such a correlation when you're talking about your mind, your body, your soul, and even your money. So even when you're talking about it, because we put a lot of emphasis on money, in the things that we do or whatever. And again, I think that's because we've been bamboozled with our level of priorities, that we go in our level of importance. Because at the end of the day, without you, there is no money. And that's the piece that we don't get. So even while sitting down at that sound mind with your estate planning and stuff, when you're talking about a little piece of clarity, how do you get clarity? You move, because the only way to change your mental position, to change how you emotionally feeling, is literally to change your physical position. So the more you change your physical position of your body, the better clarity, the more clearer that you get more clarity, because we disturb the hormones in our body. You know how sometimes you got to shake some stuff up so
Yeah.
they can fall back into place. See, wellness is that. See, change is in the shake. So the
I
more
like
that
that.
the body shakes, so even when you're thinking about planking, something as simple as planking,
And
and
tell us all what planking. I know what it is, and I've even done it. So, but tell us what planking is.
planking is like the bomb.com, right? And exercise. So as a trainer, planking is one of those simple exercises that you can do where you're just pretty much just like straight as a black,
Okay.
planking a board, and you're literally lifting up your body weight on your elbows. So the only thing that's touching the floor is your elbows and your toes. You want to know more
Wow.
information about that, you can go to Plank Talk Nation on Facebook and get it. But just that one little powerful move, and I founded Plank Talk Nation for entrepreneurs because we were so busy, and I wanted to come up with something that you can do quickly. You know how you want the best bang for your buck, and I know as entrepreneurs we want the microwave. Planking is the microwave.
I've done it. Believe me, I feel it in my core when I'm planking. I've done
A
it.
microwave. But what it does is that because your body is not used to holding up its own body weight, you may start to shake and shimmer for a while. But because your body is shaking, it's changing. And
Mm.
it's changing. That's why I said change is in the shake. So that means your muscle is changing, your mental is changing, because first you're building up your mental muscle, and then you're building up your physical muscle, because planking is a mental game. Because it takes something, even when you say I'm a world contender, to date I can almost plank for 4 hours straight, but
Oof.
it's no longer physical. It is
Wow.
totally mental, and to just be able to do that. But of course, I'm going for the record once we open back up. But for you, for just your average person,
Mm-hmm.
1 to 3 minutes a day. Tell me you gotta aim to win 1 minute of your day for you. And I always say, planking is that thing where you go aim to win the minute that you're in. Because
Wow.
once you do that, you can honestly say, I've done something for me. So for those of you that's looking for a place to start, all of my clients, every one of them, if you talk to anybody that's ever been up under my tutelage, oh, she gonna make you plank. They will tell you that. It's not an option. It's
Wow.
not an option just based on the power. Like, you may not like it, you gonna whine, and I will simply say, all this whining you doing, you could have already done it. Just get it done. Don't stop whining. Just
I
get it done.
I love your no nonsense approach. You always keep it real, Candice.